What's up, everybody? How are you guys doing? Welcome to Jake Richardson's Coaching Corner. We are on season 2. This is episode 7. The topic of the day today is stupid ass sayings and mentalities that I've been seeing more often than not. There are things that are trying to become norms. I'll give you the breakdown. The world today is so PC and so sensitive and so you can't be funny, you can't say things that are taboo, everything has to be in a streamline. But there's a lot of funny ass agendas that I've been seeing throughout this free movement where people need to accept everything and everybody needs to be cool with everything. But there's certain things that I notice that get pushed away. So it's a field of acceptance for the new norm, but the old norm you can't accept. So we're gonna dive right into it. The number one saying that's trying to gain a lot of traction that I completely hate is the phrase, "It's okay to not be okay." That is the stupidest fucking phrase I've ever heard in my life. Because in no sense, I know where it all stems from. It stems from mental health and people being able to express that they're not okay. That's one thing. But the saying within itself is stupid for where you're trying, like where it what it boils down to. If you are not okay, obviously you're not supposed to sit there and suck it all up and pretend like things are okay. You are supposed to express that you're not okay. But the reason why you're expressing it is to fix it. The okay, it's okay to not be okay. I feel like it's half a fucking sentence. It really should be, it's okay to not be okay for a fucking 5 seconds. It's okay to not be okay, but then talk to somebody to be okay. The sentence, "it's okay to not be okay," and then end it right there is fucking retarded. Because then people will think it's okay to be sick. It's okay to be hurt. It's okay to be depressed. Those are things that are not okay to be. You shouldn't be depressed. You shouldn't be sick. You shouldn't be hurt. The way that you get better is by eliminating those things, by getting some help, going to the hospital and getting fixed, taking some medicine and not being sick anymore. But the sentence within itself, I feel like is half done and there needs to be more added to it. People that are pushing this narrative of it's okay to not be okay, you are the same weak ass people that need to be saved all the time. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're saying this so somebody can come and save you. You should be saying this and finishing it with a strong sentence at the end. It's okay not to be okay, but I'm gonna pick myself up. It's okay to not be okay, but not for that long. It's okay to not be okay, but I'm gonna make sure I fucking flip it and become a better, stronger person from this moment on. I never want to go back to this not okay stage. Those are more empowering things. But to leave it open ended means that this colony of people that don't know how to fix themselves are sitting there skulking and being sad and wanting somebody to save them. You should never want somebody to save you when you're in these shitty situations. Some of the greatest people in motivation and finance and sports have been in this not okay state. And every single story, when it's triumphant and when it's so motivating, is them pulling themselves out, not somebody else pulling them out. Somebody could check in with you, but at the end of the day, it's only you that pulls your ass out of it. And like I said, you need to find the rest of that sentence. I have no problem with that sentence if you finish it with something positive, but it's like a double negative, or it's like a negative positive. It's okay to not be okay? Fuck no, that's not true. Like, stop trying to digest or teach people that that shit's okay. That weak ass mentality is not okay. You need to find out, once you acknowledge you're not okay, how to get better, and that part needs to be put in that stupid ass sentence. For me, who's it saying for? I kind of knocked on a couple of them, but the main one I feel like this is for lazy people. Lazy people want to find reasons why it's okay to be fat. It's okay to be lazy. It's okay to be unmotivated. It's okay to be fucking 25 and still living at mom and dad's house and have no idea how you're going to get out, start your own family, and elevate yourself. That's why I feel like these sentences are for, is just lazy ass motherfuckers. And me and a really, my best fucking friend, we're just having a conversation about this. We understand this is for people that have mental issues, people that are depressed, everything like that. But for me and him, we grew up very blue collar to no collar. And I feel like rich slash privileged people lean on it's okay and not be okay sentence so hard. The only time that you even have time to realize that you're depressed or that you're sad or that you're not feeling good and it really affects you is when you got hella dough and you have enough time to sit on the couch and realize I'm depressed, I don't feel good. There's a certain sense of privilege that you get to be able to even fucking do that. My family, the way that we grew up, everybody worked, everybody busted their ass, so you have zero time to sit there and fucking cry and be sad that this is depressing you or you're not getting this or getting that. My boy, same thing. His dad worked hard, his mom worked hard. They taught him to work hard. So for us, we don't really understand depression that well. We don't understand being sad and allowing that to affect your everyday mood. So I have a lot, pretty much zero to low to zero tolerance when people are sitting there telling me about how they can't get it together. You can get it together if you take away everything that's allowing you not to get it together. Being able to be super lazy to where other people are giving you money, other people are giving you sad support. You need to pull all those people away from you and you need to kind of just be by yourself. And you need to reevaluate yourself. You need to get another motivation. You need to push yourself. But I really do feel like the rich slash privileged are even able to tackle depression. When you're so fucking hungry because you haven't eaten in a minute, you don't have time to even think about depression. What you have time to think about is how the fuck can I get my next meal? When you're thirsty as fuck because you have no water running, or when you don't have a roof over your head, you rarely have the luxury to sit there and worry about not being okay. What you're focused on is getting food, getting water, getting shelter. So to me, it doesn't really resonate with me because I've been in those situations where I didn't have a roof over my head, I didn't have food, I didn't have water. And those were the main concerns about that I had. And our whole family, there were 6 of us. Not one of us sat there in depression and skulked and cried. It's like you gotta get your fucking ass up and you gotta get moving. The third type of person is just a weak mindset. All ages and stages, all financial highs and lows, everybody has a weak mindset person. This niche market of people is now taking over on TV where they're talking about depression more and they're talking about these things to the point where you're sitting there and you're like, oh fuck, maybe I'm depressed. Some people that didn't even realize they had these issues are now having to think that they had these issues or second guess themselves like, oh, I felt like I was okay, but this commercial's telling me I'm not okay. That's all weak-mindedness. Like I said, new generation people are going to hear this podcast and they're not going to like it because they think that we need to listen to everybody's fucking problem and we need to help every single fucking person on the planet. Listen, human beings have been on this earth for hundreds of years, for thousands of years. Depression isn't new. It's just now we're just getting softer and softer to where we think we have to pertain to this market. This market is such a small market in the scope of human beings. Do I think that you need help? Yeah, but that's up to you to get that. You shouldn't be pushing down anybody else to be like, help me, I'm in trouble. No, you get the fuck up and you go get your own help and stop trying to push that shit onto other people. So I really think weak individuals just really need to be saved. They don't know how to get the fuck up. If you want to know how to be like, it's not that easy. Go outside. Every single day, you'll watch 10 people walking by that are motivated, that are on it. Copy them. Fake it. Fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it is a saying that has gone on for so long, is it so fucking true. If you feel like shit, look at people that don't feel like shit. What are they doing? Oh, they have a significant other? Okay, cool. Get yourself in the gym, start looking better, start learning a joke here or there, and then go meet somebody, then you'll be happier. Oh, you're fucking fat? Okay, well, what are skinny people doing? They're going to the gym, they're dieting, do those things. But more often than not, very depressed people fall in the category of don't have nobody, fat, lazy, unmotivated. There are niche people that are extremely famous that jump off of bridges too, and they got their own issues, but that's a smaller market compared to the overall depressed market that fits the same bill, that fits the same look. So get out of that weak-minded mentality and get stronger and get better. And then people, like I said, people, the whole thing is all these people are in an umbrella of wanting to be saved. They don't want to save themselves. Very successful people, people that are really happy about their own life, they determine it. You could wake up every single day and have two options. Option A is happy as fuck. Option B, sad as fuck. And we can find any reason to be one or the other. Me personally, I ain't got no hair. I could easily sit there and cry about being bald every fucking day if I really wanted to. But I don't give a fuck. I'm in great shape. I am very happy to be in great shape. If you're fat, you can be very sad about being fat, but then you can be like, well, I got a great head of hair. Jake doesn't have a great head of hair. And you can find your way to be happy. If you fucking make $200 a week and you're sad because you're not a millionaire, then take a step back and realize that in 50 other countries, $200 a week, you're the richest fucking guy in that country. And just know that if people love you, if people are around you, people care about you, or even if they don't, you still got you, and that should be all you need to get you to the stage that you need to be in. So don't try to be saved by anybody. Second saying that I really hate is this is a judgment-free zone. I get where it's coming from. Negative judgment is a bad thing. To be judged for no fucking reason because you got a lazy eye or you got a fucking nub back in your ass or you're double jointed in your toes and you got ugly feet. Yeah, all those things, I get it, judgment free. But we live as human beings in a judgment environment, no matter if we try to be judgment free or not. You are judging subconsciously, consciously at every moment of the fucking day. When you're at a grocery store and a bum walks in, you instantly judge them. Fuck they doing in here? What the fuck they about to buy? You know they're about to steal some shit. Instant judgment. And who knows? The guy grabs something, goes to the thing, he's got $20 and he actually buys something. But that's a judgment. People dress a certain way. People look a certain way. We judge all day, every day. Do I think that you need to... Nothing should be done in extremes, so I think you need to judge openly and shit on everybody? No. But to sit there and say, you are in a judgment-free zone, is a line of bullshit. Once again, for the softer, weaker mindset, that you shouldn't accept these things. Because when somebody says, you're in a judgment-free zone, the first thing your brain wants to do more often than not, especially my brain, is judge the shit out of you. And be like, oh, shut the fuck up, old judgment-free zone ass. That means that you've been getting clowned on, you don't know how to handle it. So I really do hate this phrase. Judging people, your situations, it keeps you alive. When you are judging things, it keeps you alive. If you lived in a judgment-free zone and you walked outside and you knew that there was a really shitty, seedy, gang-infested neighborhood that you probably shouldn't be walking in, you are judging that neighborhood and the likelihood of your survival and not walking into that neighborhood. So that is a judgment. If you see an amusement park and you know it's going to be super fun, you're judging the fun base of that amusement park, so you walk into the amusement park. So to say, I live in a judgment-free zone, then feel free to walk in your everyday, every 15-mile hood that you're not from, and go talk to everybody and go see how quick you don't get robbed or don't see how quick somebody tries to take advantage of you. Vice versa, you can walk into anywhere No matter what, judgment helps you stay alive. So like I said, don't live judgment free because you're just lying and you want to be PC, you want people to like you. You judge also for potential partners. There's no such thing as love at first sight. It is lust at first sight. And the way that you judge through lust is you're judging things that you like. If you're a woman and you like broad shoulders and chiseled jawline and six pack and shit, if a guy's fat as fuck and runs up on you, you're judging him right away. You don't want this fat motherfucker talking to you. You want the chiseled jaw, shoulder, ab guy. So you're judging him right away. No matter what he says to you, he could be the sweetest guy on the fucking planet. You've already judged him. You're not giving him any play. And women like to sit there in front. Oh, I give the fat guy some play. You ain't giving the fat guy no fucking play. Because I see it all day, every day. Anytime I've ever gone out from my young 20s to now, the fat guy is the nicest dude, buys everybody all the drinks. And every once in a while he might poke something. But for the most part, the chiseled, broad-chested guy with abs, that guy, more often than not, can't even formulate a sentence. But he's getting pussy, more pussy than he can fucking deal with, just because of his looks, because he's being judged on how he looks. So when people say living in a judgment-free zone is a line of horseshit, and then vice versa for men. We judge the most when it comes to finding the opposite sex. We have specific things that we're into. Nice ass, cute smile, eyes, small waist, whatever the fuck. So we're judging women based on that. If you are a big mama that ain't got none of that stuff and that is what a guy is into, more often than not, he is going to judge you, be very nice to you in his brain, but then also not give you any play, not give you the time of day, not give you the digits. So like I said, you are judging at all times. Even when you don't think that you're judging, you are constantly judging. You're doing it for your safety. You're doing it for partners that you end up being with. And you also do it with the companies that you work for. We're judging. You are being judged working at a company. So the second that you turn your resume in, they're reading your resume and judging the dog shit out of you. You're also judging companies by what they give you. People love Facebook. People love Google because they give you all the food, the laundry, the everything. And you're judging possibly working for this company based on the things that they're giving you. So judgment happens in so many different fields. And we like to put this negative thought process around it, but it's actually just fucking reality. Because we are animals fucking judge each other. Like I said, we're high elevated animals on this planet. And we use our brains a lot more so we can judge a lot more. But animals judge the same thing, where animals will judge. You don't just see a fucking zebra walk into a den of lions because it's judging my likelihood of walking back out very slim. So I ain't gonna fucking do that shit. So animals and people judge all fucking day, every day. You judge your family, your friends, when they're fucking off or when they're doing great. If your family's fucking off and you're a great human being, you're going to let them know, hey, tighten up. You're not doing your thing. I think you should be doing better. You're judging their actions and trying to help them be better. Or vice versa. You see them doing great things and you're telling them, hey, you're doing amazing. I've seen what you're doing. I'm judging what you're doing and it fits the bill in which I think somebody should be living. 2 thumbs up. So, like I said, there's always judgment happening. To say that it's a judgment-free zone, you're actually hurting people. If I live in a judgment-free zone, that means that I'm not getting any feedback. Nobody's into me. There's a lot of things I'm not getting the job I want. I'm not getting the money that I want because everybody's just living this floaty fucking Prince dream world where nobody judges each other and we're all just here. You can't even love somebody because love is a judgment. I determine how much love I give somebody by how I judge them and the things that they do. So if you live in a judgment-free zone, you can't even do any of these things. So it don't even make no fucking sense. Who uses this saying? Here's the people that use this saying the most, that you don't even think is using the saying, and it's gonna hit you right in the face. They use it to play you the fuck out. Number one person I think of that when I watched the first 48 that says this is a judgment-free zone, fucking cops, because cops want to fake you out and make you feel like you're not gonna be judged. Did you shoot that person? Did you stab that person? Did you snitch on that person? Don't worry. We're going to get the other guy. We're not going to get you. This is a judgment-free zone. Then you tell them all the shit that you've done, because I watch First 48 all day, every day, and that fucking guy gets judged and gets arrested and does life in jail. So you are getting judged, and cops try to sucker you into making you believe that you're not getting judged. Who else does it? Teachers. When you get in trouble, they pull you aside. This is a judgment-free zone. It says it on their wall right there. This is one number one people actually has a saying on their wall. Judgment-free zone. Did you cheat on that test? Judgment-free zone. Were you making out in the locker room? Judgment-free zone. All these things. The second you say yes, go to the principal's office and you get judged and you get expelled or you get suspended or you got to do detention. Your parents, probably the number one people that use this phrase. Same thing. Did you take the car on the weekend? Did you set the house on fire? Did you throw a party? We're not going to judge you in the judgment-free zone. Then you tell them you get fucking, I don't know, what parents give. I used to get slapped up. So what's the normal shit? I don't even know what it is. What's it called? It's not suspension. You want to get suspended from your house. I can't even tell you what the fuck it is. Like I said, I used to get slapped up, so I don't know what it is when they make you stay home. But they make you stay home and you can't do anything, and you don't get your cell phone and all that shit. So if you notice, the three main people, when they tell you this isn't a judgment-free zone, they're lying to you to get you to tell them the truth so they could judge the shit out of you. So anytime you're in a situation you hear this is a judgment-free zone, just know they're trying to play you out, and they're trying to get some information out of you. And then once they do get that information out of you, you are useless and you get thrown to the wayside. So don't allow that saying to get you too gassed up. Here's another one. This is a newer one that's really irritating me. It's not necessarily a saying. It's more of a movement that's going on. And it's the every kid gets a trophy movement. I hate this shit because I played every single type of youth sport. Basketball, football, at least the two major ones, all that shit. And the best feeling is when you would beat a team and you would get the trophy at the end. That's what you play for. That's what you work for. To bust your ass that hard, beat all these weak teams, and then see the same guys that you whoop on get the same trophy as you, doesn't make any sense. It's teaching you that your hard work goes unlooked. And in reality, that doesn't happen. It does happen in certain circumstances, but for the most part, if you're working hard and you're working for the right people, your hard work gets appreciated and you get put above the motherfuckers that ain't working hard. No company is going to thrive if their hard workers and their lazy asses are in the same even playing field. Because their hard workers will leave and go somewhere where they're more appreciated. So I feel like this trophy shit is just out of fucking hand. And same thing, you think that you're helping, but you're really hurting. You're hurting for the fact of, at a certain point in time, life hits you. And life is cutthroat as fuck. And more often than not, there's only one winner. And if you're taught your whole life everybody wins, and you later in life find out only one person wins, it could crush you. You can go into the fucking depression. You could jump off a bridge. You can have all this shit happen to you because life hasn't hit you yet. See, like what I was saying earlier, when life really hits you at a young age and you don't have a roof over your head and you don't have food and you don't have water, you have no time to think about anything else except those things, those essential things. But when you've gotten everything your whole life and you've never had to worry about major things, you start worrying about the minor things, which is this trophy shit and this depression shit and this everybody gets a job shit that doesn't really happen. It's unrealistic. And I feel like you're setting people up for really harsh truths instead of learning at a young age. When you learn at a young age how real life is and how much life is trying to punch you in the face and how much you got to dodge and duck to actually get to be successful, more often than not, you end up being successful. If you look at the major players when it comes to millionaires and billionaires, besides the ones that had trust fund money handed to them, the people that started from the mud, they had to fucking dodge, duck, weave, do all that shit just to get to where they're at. And more often than not, they appreciate the next person coming up that's dodging, ducking, and weaving instead of the person that has the trust fund money handed to them. Because the trust fund money, those people just blow that shit because they think it's there all day. The rich kids, the kids that sit there and talk about depression all day, those are not the people that you want to run your companies, or the people that you want next in line. The people that you want are the ones that have gone through some real shit at a really young age, that know how to just push right through all that stuff and be very successful. And like I was saying, this trophy thing, it just doesn't work. It teaches you unrealistic expectations. It teaches you being okay with losing, because at the end of the day, winning won't matter. So it teaches winners that winning isn't important, when in life, winning is very important, because when you win in life, you're able to buy your house. When you win in life, your company does really well. When you win in life, you can help the people around you. When you lose, more often than not, you end up like a bum or a crackhead. More often than not, you can't help the people around you. More often than not, you find yourself in depressive states when you're a loser. So with this mentality that we all get a trophy, the winners and losers get caught in the mix, and nobody knows who to be what, and you teach everybody to be weaker and weaker and weaker and more dependent, when it's like, if you lose and you get nothing, that should teach you next year to bust your ass even harder. And that makes you better. That makes the guy in front of you want to work harder. If he doesn't work harder, then the roles switch, and the roles feel sweet when they switch. When you have a shitty season during one season, and then next season, the season after that, you're amazing, it's because you've been blasted into the mud so many times that you don't want it anymore, and you choose to become better. That is a society that works. The one where it's like, it's okay to be a loser, that's how you get depressed kids. That's how you get kids that are sad and wimpy. And it just don't make no sense. If you think that depression happens because of losing, you don't know how to lose and win. That means that you just know how to lose and fucking give up. And that, to me, makes sense on depression. Depression is based on losing and giving up. Perseverance and winning is based on losing and getting the fuck up and keep and trying to win. And then once you do win, get addicted to it and keep going. The best way to become a winner is by losing. Just don't lose that much. Don't get comfortable with losing. And that's the best way. And this trophy shit just ain't working. And the world works. If you're listening to this podcast and you think that the world is kumbaya and you think that it's all supposed to work in your favor, guess what? It's not. Every single day, somebody's trying to take your position in everything. In your relationship, in your job, if you play sports, in your sports. Not everybody starts. When I played safety, I started. There were 3 other guys that were on my team that supported me but wanted me to get hurt every day, or wanted to take my job every day. There's always somebody trying to take your space. Now, if you're not on it and you're not paying attention, they will take your space. So the more often that you can digest that and realize that, and that's reality, the better you'll do. If you think that there's enough room for everybody, you're fucking fooling yourself. There's not enough room for everybody. There's enough room when they make the room for themselves. But if I just need to take all my hard work and step aside and be like, hey, man, you're not working hard. You ain't doing shit. But you should be standing right next to me. Fuck no, you shouldn't be standing right next to me. That's why they have hierarchies in all these companies. That's why I have CFOs and everything that fucking falls under that, owners, all that shit. So the quicker you can get used to that, the better you'll get. And if you're somebody that has kids and they hand your kid and your kid didn't win a trophy, slap that fucking trophy out that fucking coach's hand. And sit down with your kid. Don't just do that and don't explain. Explain life and explain how things should really work. And then work with your kid. If they're losing, that's based on you not being there helping them out. If they're winning, it's because you're putting the time in. You take your kid, you take the 4 other kids, 5 other kids that really want to work, you pull them aside and you work with them and you make them better. The village is what makes people successful, not necessarily an individual person. The individual person needs to get the fuck up, but the village needs to show you the direction. And then once they show you the direction, you know where to go, you know how to do it, then you teach other people and your village gets stronger and stronger and stronger. That's how I always felt like it should be done. And then this one, the final one, which is a heavy one too. Feel like this age is really trying to demasculinize man. The heterosexual male is trying to be demasculinized as fuck. The first space that you see this in is fashion. Feel free. Wear whatever you want to wear. Be whoever the fuck you want to be. But I feel like you shouldn't be lying to people based on that. Don't be a tough guy. Don't be a hard ass. Don't be somebody that's depicting this manly figure and then be caught in a dress or be caught painting your nails or be caught with lipstick on. Because I don't give a fuck what nobody says. There will never be a time in life where that is tough, especially in this era. If you're doing that, then depict that. That's okay. But don't tell me that you're this tough badass. Because all tough badasses I ever grew up with didn't wear dresses, didn't have eyeliner on, didn't have lip gloss, didn't have fucking their nails done. So fashion is huge. I feel like a lot of shit is just starting to slide. I'm seeing a lot of guys with purses and guys with fucking boots that are 8 inches and they got dresses on and they got net tank tops on and shit. And to me, it doesn't slide. I don't let anybody, I don't let my friends, I don't let the younger guys that I know slide with that. I feel like if I'm not saying something, then they think it's okay. That shit isn't okay. And that has nothing to do with being homophobic. That doesn't have anything to do with not being trendy or trend setting. I think this has to do with being a man. If you're a man, you know exactly how to dress. And if you're dressing more and more like a girl, then just say that shit and just be cool with that. But don't try to manly it up around me and then get caught in a fucking dress. So fashion's a big one. Commercials. I see it all day, every day. Nowadays, when they're trying to push commercials, the number one guy that gets left out is the heterosexual strong male. If I see commercials, it's always a softer touched male, or it's women or big power strucken women, but it's never the quintessential male. And the reason why that is I think they're trying to get rid of the quintessential male because that's a stereotype. But it's funny how you're trying to bring everybody together while exclude. You should be including everybody. If you were so mad about how you were oppressed or you were put aside, then you should lead by a different example and not oppress or put aside another individual because that's the individual that you feel put you aside. Not every straight heterosexual male did something to you. So you shouldn't be doing shit to them either. You should be very inclusive and teach all the people that you felt like pushed you out how to be inclusive and how to be a real individual. But nowadays, like I said, commercials, I'm less and less seeing the strong heterosexual male. It's okay, man. You should put everybody together, but not exclude. So commercials are a big one. It's just verbiage. I hear men talking like girls nowadays. Every female term that I'm hearing, I hear the dude say. And the verbiage is getting funny. When I hear, this one kills me. When I'm talking and somebody says something that really resonates with me, I'll tell them, I say, that's real as fuck. That's some real shit right there. Now I'm hearing dudes say, facts, facts. That sounds like some chick shit. That sounds like what girls say. Facts, facts. I hate that fucking saying. So that's a big one. They say bet. Man, when I was growing up, if somebody was like, oh man, you can't do that, I'd be like, put $100 on it. Bet you 1,000 I could do that. Finish your sentences. But don't just say these little quick, girly sayings. Facts, bet. That sounds like some weak shit. So verbiage is big. I feel like guys are starting to sound softer. They're starting to move softer. When I went out when I was in my young 20s, I saw a fight every fucking week. Every weekend that I go out, I see at least one person fight. But that's because we came from an era, if somebody disrespected you, you had to fight. You had to do something about it because you wouldn't be able to jump in the car. If I was with a group of guys and some dude in my group got disrespected, he'd have to fight that dude or he couldn't leave with us. We'd leave him behind because that's some guy shit. We can't have any weak links in the group. I don't care if you get beat up, but you better defend yourself. That resonates throughout the rest of your life. When you are used to defending yourself, it's easy defending your family. It's easy defending your girlfriend. It's easy defending your friends. But if you don't know how to defend yourself, how the fuck are you going to stick up for somebody else? People think that all these things are barbaric, but they stem and they project into a lot of real situations. I don't want to be around nobody that can't stick up for themselves because that means if I'm in a pinch, they can't even help me out. I'm getting hit behind my head. People don't think about it till you say it in those terms. And I feel like also guys are paying too much attention to World Star and Instagram and YouTube, and they're watching guys get knocked out, and they don't want to be that guy. Because I watch guys all day, every day, argue, say some crazy shit, and nobody throws a punch because they're so scared to beat up or get beat up because nobody has any backbone no more. Nobody's throwing punches, nobody's sticking up for themselves, nobody's doing anything. So I feel like the verbiage spills into the actual physical and keeps guys frozen. And that's why I think women are finding it harder and harder to find a man, because there ain't really a lot of men out there. Every generation feels this way because every generation gets a little bit softer and softer. My generation was just fist fighting. My dad's generation was stabbing and shooting. Generations before that, it was gang fighting. Generation before that, it was gunfighting in the Wild West. So it's like, obviously we've gotten, like, you can start a gunfight by calling a guy cheating and shooting him and you'd be okay. So it's like, obviously as society expands, the male bravado gets weaker and weaker. And I think the next stage was the saddest stage because ours was fist fighting, which I thought was a good stage. I think it's okay. You can fist fight, disagree, and then live to fight another one the next day. Nowadays, guys aren't fighting. Guys are relying on guns. They're kind of reverting back to the pussy stuff, the brass knuckles, the stabbings, the shootings, instead of actually fighting because nobody wants to get put on TV or get put on YouTube and get knocked out. At least with a knockout, you could wake up the next day, fine-tune your tools, and then maybe not get knocked out again. You get shot or stabbed, that's the end of the whole game. Or you shoot or stab somebody, that's the end of their game, that's the end of your game, because you're going to jail for life. At least with fighting, just a little slap on the hand. So I feel like in a lot of these ways, the male figure is just getting beat the fuck up. It is super sad. And at the end of the day, I'm going to make more episodes based on this, on stupid sayings I'm hearing or things that I'm seeing, because I want to pull it back. I want guys to feel like guys. I want girls to feel like girls. I want everybody to feel empowered. As much as people are going to listen to this and be like, that didn't sound empowered, that sound like you were shitting on people. I'm shitting on the backwards mentality. I feel like there's a forward movement that reverberates through everybody. Like I said, if a man acts more like a man, it makes a woman feel a little safer and allows a woman to act more like a woman. When men don't act like men, that means women start filling in the gaps and they have to say something and they have to do something because nobody else is sticking up for them. And then bad things happen because if you're a woman sticking up to a man that touched you or a man that hit you, more often than not, that man's gonna be bigger than you, he's gonna be stronger than you, he probably hurt you a little bit more. But if a dude knows how to stick up and do something, then you just shut that shit down. And then vice versa. If he's raised right and he don't slap women and women get sick with him, then you jump in and you help. So there's layers to the things that I'm saying, and I want people to digest them and utilize them more so we can get out of this foggy bullshit mindset where dudes are wearing skirts and everything's funky as fuck and every kid's getting a trophy. I don't like all that shit. But with that also being said, this is the end of the episode. I enjoyed this one. It was fun to talk. I'm thankful for you guys listening. Leave comments. Hit like if you liked it. Even if you didn't like it, leave a comment and tell me that you didn't like it. Then we just always go from there. But most importantly, get a hold of some loved ones. Talk to the people around you. Make your circle stronger every single day. And just tell people that you love them, because life is too short. And it's always good to hear I love you every once in a while. So besides that, have a great day. I'll see y'all again next time. Peace.